Before I start this video, I want to apologize in advance for the noise that you might hear outside. Hello everyone, my name is Tasha and welcome to my channel. It has been a while, at least for me. It's been longer for me than for you guys, maybe. It's been 2 weeks since I posted my last video, but it's been a lot longer since I've filmed videos. Over the holidays, I was in Germany. I didn't want to stress about filming and editing, so I left my camera here while I was in Germany, and when I got back to the UK, I was sick, so I didn't feel like filming and editing and whatever, but I'm back and it is the new year, so happy new year everyone. I hope you had a great start and I hope that this year will be wonderful for you. So today I want to talk about all of the books that I read in December. I read a total of 15 books in December. It was a quite good reading month. The first 3 books that I read are the last 3 novellas of the Shadowhunter Academy, Tales of the Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare, and those were The Fiery Trial, which I rated 3 stars. I don't remember what it was about, but I wrote down that I thought it was weird and I didn't really enjoy it. The next one was Born to Endless Night, which I rated 4 stars, and I wrote down that I loved this, especially the Malik parts, and that it is my favorite novella of the collection, but again, I don't remember what it's about. And the last one, which was Angels Twice Descending, and I do remember what this one was about. I rated it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, and it even made me cry. The next book I read was a buddy read with Knock from Happy Comes First, and that was The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. I rated this 3.5 stars. I had quite high expectations for this book. I really liked the premise about the story not focusing on the chosen one, but the other people that live through all of the chaos that the chosen ones go through. It didn't really live up to my expectations. Most of the book felt like just a contemporary book with a few magical elements thrown in. I did really like the characters and certain aspects of the book. There was one part about anxiety, which I absolutely loved and made me cry. Overall, this book didn't live up to my expectations. Next, I read Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. This was my first Colleen Hoover book. Again, it did not live up to my expectations. I've heard a lot about Colleen Hoover on BookTube and had kind of high expectations because everyone loves her books so much. So I kind of expected like an amazing book. I don't know, it started off strong for me. I really liked the beginning, but then the second half of the book was just a wee bit crazy for me. A lot happened, a lot of drama happened, and it was just a little bit too much for me. I don't know if it counts as a spoiler, but I'm gonna mention it because it made me cringe so much, and that would be the sex after the kind of traumatic experience that the main character had. It didn't happen then, but she had that revelation, and then they had sex, and it was so weird, and it made me cringe so much, it made me feel so uncomfortable. I really didn't like that. But I am gonna continue and read some other Colleen Hoover books and see if I maybe like them. Then I read Isla and the Happily Ever After by Stephanie Perkins, which is the 3rd installment of the Anna and the French Kiss collection of books, I guess. As with the other 2 books, I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars as the other 2. I loved Isla and Josh. The ending was super cute. And then I read a book that I got for review, which was The Night Parade by Catherine Tanqueray. I requested this on NetGalley and it actually came out January 1st of this year. I think it should be out now. This is a middle grade book, and it's about this girl, Saki. This book plays in Japan, Tokyo. Well, kind of Tokyo, more in a smaller village somewhere in Japan. And this girl, Saki, she gets a curse put upon her. I think it was a death curse. During the nighttime, she heads out and meets these spirits on the night parade. It was okay, but it was an okay book. I just didn't really enjoy it as much. A lot happened, and I found the main character, Saki, quite annoying. I rated it 3 stars. Then, to get in the holiday and Christmas spirit, I read Christmas at Tiffany's by Karen Swan. I really enjoyed this book. I really enjoyed it. Not as much as the other Karen Swan book I read, which was Christmas in the Snow. Unfortunately, this book, Christmas at Tiffany's, only a very small part of the book played around Christmas and wintertime. Yeah, so it didn't really get me into the Christmas mood, which was a bit disappointing, but it was still a good book, which is why I rated it 3.5 stars. And then I read an absolutely amazing book, which was A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, or Victoria Schwab, and I rated this 5 stars. I loved the characters of this book, I loved the writing of this book, and the story, it was so amazing. The only thing I have to say is the beginning was very confusing for me with the different Londons and where whatever took place. That was very confusing for me, but I don't know how long it took me to get into it and to get everything, but in the end I did, and I did love the book. And then the Cramathon Readathon took place, which was hosted by Whitney from Witty Novels, and I did have a TBR for that. Quite ambitious TBR, I think. And I ended up only finishing one book for the Cramathon, and that was the shortest book with like 70 pages. I don't know. I failed that Cramathon so much. But the book that I read was Alice's Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. I love everything Alice in Wonderland, but I've never read the original Alice in Wonderland story. It was okay. I rated it 3 stars. But I'm still glad that I read it. The next book I read was My True Love Gave to Me by Stephanie Perkins, which is a collection of holiday stories by different authors. I think it's 12 collections. I'm not gonna get into each rating for every story. I did that on Goodreads, so if you're interested in that, my Goodreads link is down below. I will say my 2 favorite stories were the one by Stephanie Perkins and also the one by, what's her name? Kirsten White? I hadn't heard of her before, but I really liked her story. My least favorite one was the one by Laini Taylor, unfortunately. I almost DNF'd that story. It was the last one, and I thought, nah, I might as well finish it. It was like a few pages, so I did, but I didn't enjoy it. Overall, I rated this book 3.5 stars. Next, I read Slumber by Christy Sloat. This is a Sleeping Beauty retelling. I didn't enjoy this book. Nah, can't really say that. I did enjoy it, but there were a lot of things I didn't like about this book. The characters and the story kind of fell flat for me. There wasn't any depth. There wasn't a lot of depth to these things, but I still enjoyed reading it. It's really weird. I did rate it 3 stars, and I feel like I might read I think it's a duology, and I think I might read the next book just because the ending left it open for me to be a bit interested in how it continues. Then I read another book for review, and that would be Bookishly Ever After by Isabel Bandera. This is a contemporary book about a girl named Phoebe. Her name was Phoebe. She reads a lot, kind of like we do, and she finds out that one of her friends might fancy her, and she realizes that she might kind of like him too, but she's really shy and doesn't know how to act around him, so she starts acting like her favorite book characters, which I thought was really interesting, which is why I requested this book. I thought the idea of this book was really funny and interesting, and I really liked this book. I have to say, it was more of an amusing book, more like, it was really amusing to me, but it wasn't like a mind-blowing book. I found the main character Phoebe quite annoying for most of the book. There was a lot of miscommunication throughout this book, which I didn't like. I still thought it was a good book, and something that I really liked was the representation of diverse characters. The love interest is Indian, and there are hints to his religion and culture, which I really liked. And there's a lesbian couple. I don't feel like I'm in a place to say if that was good or bad representation, but I enjoyed it and I thought it was well done. Yeah, I rated it 4 stars. And this comes out on the 12th of January, I think. Then I started to reread the Harry Potter series, and I obviously started off with Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone by J.K. Rowling. there's not much to say. I still love this. I rated it 5 stars again, and I'm very excited to get to the other books because so far when I tried to reread the series I only got to Chamber of Secrets and then kind of lost focus and read other books. And the last book I read in 2015 was an audiobook. That was An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir, and oh my god, this was such an amazing book and amazing audiobook. The voice actors for this book, they did such an amazing job with this audiobook. I enjoyed it so much and I rated this book 5 stars. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Tell me in the comments down below some books or your favorite books that you read in December and we can talk about them. That was it for this video and I will see you next time. Bye!